What's up, everybody? Back again with another video. I want to talk about some things that God's been working on in my life and some things He's brought to my attention. But first and foremost, I want to say I'm reading off note cards because I have a hard time keeping my thoughts straight and remembering things, especially when I'm on camera. So if you see me looking down, I'm not reading a speech. I don't need a teleprompter. I'm just looking at my notes to make sure I don't forget anything. What I want to talk about is glorifying God in your work. And this is work and schoolwork, so don't think you're getting out of it, kiddies. The first point I want to bring up is that every experience we have in life is an experience that we are to glorify God with, no matter whether it's good or it's bad. 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God." So everything we do in life, we are to do as though we are doing it unto God, and to do it with all our might, so as to glorify God. My second point is that God instituted work. Work did not come about because of the fall of man. People often look at the Genesis account when God cursed the ground and the thorns and things came up and think, oh, that's when work started. God told Adam to tend the garden before the fall. Work is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's good. And God loves it when we work because He is at work a lot in the world and the things we do. And along that line, God hates laziness. He doesn't like someone who doesn't like to work. You have to work. And if you don't believe me, I have some scriptures to prove that point. As you can see from the scriptures, every man has to work, and every man is responsible to provide for himself and for his family. The scriptures also say that if a man doesn't provide, he's worse than an infidel. So God requires us to work. My third point is how we glorify God in our work. What does that look like to glorify God in our work? The first thing that looks like is that we have to give a full day's work. That means no unnecessary emails, no time just goofing off and goofing around when you should be doing your work. If it's on a break or something, that's different. But use the time that you have with your employer as an employee to work. That's what you're there to do. So one way to glorify God through work is by giving a full day's work. The other thing that we do to give God glory in work is giving quality work. Don't just do the bare minimum to get by. Give your work your all. No matter how insignificant the task seems, God has called you to perform that task. And somehow God works through what you're doing to provide a good or a service to the rest of mankind from your job, no matter what it is. So make sure that you're doing good quality work. Make sure that you work extra hard and do what you need to do to make sure that the work you do is of the highest quality and highest standard. This next one is a little hard, especially for me, and I'm sure for other people, and that's submission to your boss, even when he's not being very nice to you. I know you may not want to hear that, but the scriptures say to do that, to submit to your boss so that you can glorify God, even when he's not being nice to you. You can't just go off on him and cuss him out and say everything else that you'd like to say to him. If he's doing something like sexual harassment or something like that, then you need to go to the proper authority and file a complaint or something. And if he's asking you to do something that goes against your conscience, of course, refuse. But in all other things, submit. Even if he yells at you for no reason, just submit. And I know that can be difficult. It was difficult for me and still is. But we have to pray every day for God to help us to have a heart that's ready to do that. My final point is that your work ethic says a lot about how much you value Christ. We are supposed to display the infinite value and worth of Jesus to the rest of the world and to unbelievers all around us. By the way we work, we are displaying to our coworkers how much we value Jesus. When they see us working extra hard and doing our jobs without complaint, and they say, why are you doing this way? Why do you work so hard? And we say, because we are working as though our work is unto Jesus. That opens up an opportunity for you to share your faith with your coworkers and your boss. And also, like I said, God gets all the glory. The way that we work and the way that we live is supposed to always display the infinite value and worth of Jesus. So make sure that you always do your best, that you work hard, and that you show up to work on time, and that you show up to work every day that you're not sick. So that's really all I had to say. Be looking out for some mini documentary stuff that I'm working on. I'm working on one right now about Sam Adams, and got some other stuff that I'll be working on in the future. So just keep on the lookout and keep watching. God bless.